However, when I greeted him, Mr. Nakayama immediately said, I want Mr. Crabe, who loves Shenmue, to try the world tour.
Shenmue? Nani? Yo!
Well, hey guys, Nabil here. What a surprise when I found out that Shenmue was in the same article as Street Fighter 6. Now, as you know, Street Fighter 6 was shown for the past few days and it was really so much information that I'm still processing it. I've been trying to do a video where I recap everything we've learned about Street Fighter 6 and I just can't yet. There's just so much stuff. But there's one thing in particular that I knew I had to do a video about it. Now, this is thanks to IGN Japan. IGN Japan were at the Summer Game Festival and they spoke to the Street Fighter producer. Now, a little bit of a background here. The writer of the article and the interviewer happens to be a fan of Shenmue. So when he looked at the world tour, well, he didn't see the world tour, he's just, basically the trailer that we all seen, he kept thinking that this kind of looks similar to Shenmue. And he didn't want to ask Nakayama-san, the Street Fighter 6 producer, about comparing it to Shenmue. He kind of felt it would be disrespectful to ask that question. So before he actually asked the question, Nakayama-san knew that the interviewer actually likes Shenmue. So Nakayama-san said, I want Mr. Crabe, who loves Shenmue, to try the world tour, which is what, Shenmue? And then it doesn't stop there. He asked him, are you influenced by Shenmue in any way? Maybe I should have made it so that you could mess around with it. Nakayama joked. So he kind of said it and not say it at the same time. But for those of you who don't know, you probably know Shenmue, right? Shenmue is a famous RPG game from Sega that was really ahead of its time when it was released back in the early 2000s on the Dreamcast. We had Shenmue 1 and the excellent Shenmue 2, and then it took a while before we got Shenmue 3, which didn't play it yet, but I didn't hear not a lot of people liked it because maybe the technology used was not ahead of its time as the previous titles. But Shenmue, as you might not know or might know, started as Virtua Fighter RPG. It was supposed to be a Virtua Fighter, an RPG set in the world of Virtua Fighter. And then it actually evolved to be its own franchise. Now, the fact that they're talking about that, they're kind of saying that the world tour is kind of like the Shenmue of Street Fighter, just like Shenmue was supposed to be the Shenmue, whatever that means, of Virtua Fighter. Which is great because honestly, when I saw the trailer, I thought, well, maybe this is just going to be a small mode. But it isn't. In fact, we learned so much about this mode. This is what I'm doing here in this video. Not only is it influenced indirectly, they're not going to say it obviously, indirectly by Shenmue, it actually kind of plays like it. So you do control a player created character. This is not you're not going to be playing as Luke or Ryu or whatever. And you actually, from what we saw, you go around Metro City and meet characters, and there's so many locations in there. We already saw a park, we saw an intersection, we saw the tube underground, we saw so many places. But a lot of people ask, I mean, yeah, but the world tour usually, because they think about Street Fighter 0 to 3 or Street Fighter Alpha 3 world tour, where you actually go around, not physically, not free roaming, but you go through different countries. So what we learned is that it's going to be the same thing. The world tour mode is going to let you travel around the globe, meeting Street Fighter characters, learning about their stories, fighting them, learning from them. This really is a world tour. The first part of the world tour, the first stage, if you want to call it that, or the first locale, is actually the USA, Metro City. Now, how big is this thing? Is this just going to be like a small mode that allows you to just, get some, learn some basics about some characters and move on? Apparently not. This is an entire massive game within the game. And why did they do that? Well, they explained that the reason behind doing the world tour is actually many. And all of them are fantastic reasons. And we're going to list some of them, or maybe all of them, I don't know. But the first thing is they actually wanted a way to teach people about fighting games. They believe that just having a normal tutorial mode is not captivating enough for players who are new to the genre to learn about fighting games. So throughout this mode, you're going to learn. Those of you who don't know fighting games, probably everybody who's watching here knows fighting games, but you get to learn the basics of fighting games. You know, footsies, cross-ups, pretty much everything that you need to learn about fighting games, right? So that's the first thing. Which is a great way. The second reason is they wanted to expand on the story. By the way, Nakayama-san loves the Street Fighter story, and honestly, Street Fighter has a lot of good stories, but it was never, or at least in the past few years, it was not really well exploited. So they're looking to expand and let the player live in the Street Fighter world and learn about the characters. So the story is a big part of Street Fighter 6, which is music to my ears. The other reason, which is I think is fantastic, is they're trying to get new people into the genre. Now let's face it, we're all fans of fighting games, but kind of a very niche genre. We don't get a lot of new blood into the community of these games. We do have, few people who are young, but the majority of us are in our 30s and 40s, which is not a good look. So they're trying to get people by having an entire vast, fleshed out mode, a full game, if you will, a full game to bring people in. Some people will come in just to play that game because it actually is fun and you learn a lot, and it's an adventure game, and it has RPG elements. And from there, we get to teach these players about fighting games. We teach them how to play fighting games, and maybe some of them will actually start playing fighting games, and maybe they will start with the simplified, call it modern version of the controls, and then they will eventually start playing the game with the normal control. But I think this is fantastic news. This is really great. Capcom is trying to reinvent the wheel a little bit, which is not easy to do when the whole genre is about one person fighting another person. So I think they're really trying something really cool, and I am very, very excited about the World Tour. The fact that they compared it to Shenmue, right? And they even talk about it a little bit, and they said, well, I mean, you're not going to be able to go and play pachinko on the streets as you do in Shenmue, but it's the same concept, which is great, which is really great. I'm really excited to know more. They were not supposed to show anything. They were not, like this whole press event that happened over the past few days was all about the fighting mode, showing some of the characters, showing the mechanics, which are very interesting and actually have me salivating for playing some Street Fighter 6, which hopefully I'll be able to do, not before too long. But they kind of talk just a little bit about that, and it's really great. It's really fascinating. I can't wait to see more about the World Tour. I can't wait to see. I would have preferred to actually play as known characters, but I'm just not gonna judge anything right now. I need to see how it plays out. What are you gonna learn about these characters? As you know, I'm a big fan of the lore of fighting games, whether it's King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, of course, Street Fighter as well. So, what do you guys think about this? This fantastic news. Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, guys. Please drop a like. It's easy. It's quick. Click. That's it. You like the video, and you're helping the channel by letting YouTube know that you like this video, and then YouTube will share this video and recommend it to other people, and this is gonna help the channel grow. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Now, until next time, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video from Neo Geo Now. Now don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not done so, and I would like to take this opportunity and thank my patrons for supporting the channel and making this content possible. Making daily videos and especially the documentaries and lore episodes takes a very long time and a lot of effort, and being able to get some support for these time-consuming tasks allow me to keep going and strive for more and better content. With that said, I want to give a big special shout out to Michael, Brian Tiard, Fahad Suwaidi, Jacques Paul, Berugadono, and Enrique Sandoval, as well as special thanks to Shaka Asamiya, Refugio Robles, Felipe Guimara, Jihao Ju, Muhammad Al-Blushi, Anthony Longino, Burned Retinas, Lily Wong Esmeralda, Goran, and Dangerman 1973. those of you who are not yet Neo Geo Now patrons, I hope you will check my Patreon page where you can become patrons, helping the channel produce more videos as well as receive special perks that are exclusive to patrons, like early access to videos, exclusive making-offs, and other SNK digital goodies. Link for the Neo Geo Patreon page is in the description below. So until next time, thank you for watching.